Finally, this is our third problem statement. We need to design a LMS where you're given a subject, an entity called subject, where you need to maintain subject ID, subject name, teacher ID, teacher name, and subject ID, student name, and student subject. So teacher are supposed to teach some subject. That's why we are having here teacher ID with subject ID. And students are supposed to enroll in some subject. That's why student ID and subject ID. So we have to find out here teacher teaching no subject and students who have enrolled in maximum subjects. So we have written here who have enrolled 2 times. Okay. So this is what the program you have to create here. So we want to design here LMS. LMS is Learning Management System. So first of all, as we do here, we'll be including string include vector. Then we will need your map also. I should include map. Then set. We'll need your set also. So we'll be including set here. Then hash include string. So we provide here using namespace std, and then we'll create a class to represent subject. We will create a class subject over here. Inside this class, we'll be having a private section again. Inside this private section, we'll be having int subject underscore ID and string subject underscore. That's it. Now we'll be having a public section. In this public section, we'll be having a constructor. And this constructor name is obviously the same as class name. And here we'll be taking variable called ID and variable called name. Then we'll be specifying sub underscore ID is what? ID, comma, sub underscore name is name, and here we'll be having those brackets. That's it. Then we'll be having some getters over here. And in these getters, we'll be having int get subject ID, and here We'll be making it as const. Inside that, we'll write return sub underscore id. That's it. Then same we'll be making for string subject name. This is not a constructor, this is const. And here we'll be turning subject name. That's it. Now this is how our class is now over. Now we'll be creating a class to represent a teacher. So as we know, teacher is also an entity. So here we'll create a class teacher, and inside that class we'll be writing, we'll be having a private section. Inside that section we'll be having a teacher underscore id, and here we'll be having string t underscore name. Inside that again we'll be having int subject underscore id. That's it. Now, in the terms of database, this is a foreign key, which is same as we taken in the subject. Subject ID and subject class. Obviously, teacher will be teaching only those subjects which are available in subject class. Okay. Now, this was the private section. Now we'll be having a public section. In that public section, of course, we'll be having a constructor. In that constructor, we're creating a teacher named constructor, obviously, because this is a teacher class. Here, passing integer id, comma, string name, that is name of teacher, comma, int sid. That's it. And colon. Here, we're saying teacher id is id, comma, t underscore name is what? Is name, comma, subject underscore id is what? SID. And this is what we created our constructor. Now again we'll be writing here getters. We'll be writing here int get teacher ID. Inside that, this const. Inside this, return teacher underscore ID. Similarly, we'll be creating three getters over here. So one is teacher ID, get teacher name. So that will be string. And here we'll be writing P underscore name. And get subject ID. Subject ID. And here return sub ID. That's it. So another function we'll write here to check if teacher is teaching a subject. It's teaching const. So here again, obviously teacher is not teaching any subject. So subject ID will be what? Equals to -1. That's it. Now this is what the class was for teachers. Now once this teacher class is over, we'll be creating a class to represent student. So inside that class, obviously again you will be having a private section. In that section, you will be having the subject student ID, that is STID. Then you will be having name of student, so name. Then again subject ID. So here we will be creating a vector because student can enroll in multiple subjects. So we are supposing here student is enrolled in multiple subjects because we are having a problem statement that to find out students enrolling in maximum subjects. So here we'll be having subject ID and let us write a comment over here. List of subject IDs. Student is enrolled. That's it. Now, once this is done, Now we'll be having a public section. Here again we'll be having a constructor. In this constructor, the name of constructor will be obviously student. And here we'll be having into ID, comma, string name, comma, vector, obviously one of them is vector. So int, here we'll be taking SIDs and roller. Now again st underscore id, st underscore id is what? It's an id, comma, name is what? Again name, comma, subject underscore IDs is what? SID. That's it. This is how we created a constructor. Now here we'll be having a getters method. In this getters method, int get student ID const return st underscore id then we want student name. So this will return name. This is subject ID. So subject ID will be, so now we don't want subject ID, we want here subject count. So we'll be having here subject count, return sub underscore IDs dot siz size. So we'll be returning the size of subject ID is vector. So whatever will be the size, that will be the number of subjects enrolled by student. Now, once this is done, we have to create another class to manage LMS, Learning Management System. So we'll create a class LMS, and in that class, we'll write private, and in that private, we'll create a vector Vector of what? Vector of subject, and name it as subjects. And in that vector again, in that particular LMS, we'll create a vector, one more vector, that is vector of teachers. We'll name it as teachers. Then we create another vector, student, student. Then public, we'll add a subject. To add a subject, we need to create a function, add subject. And inside that function, we'll be passing ID, string, name, and work. Again, we are using that vector. So we'll be writing here subjects dot push underscore back. What will push here? We push here record, that is subject ID, comma, name. Once we have added the subject, now we'll add a picture. We'll copy this, we'll paste this, and here instead of subject, we'll write here teacher. So in teacher, what all details we had? ID, name, and subject ID. So ID, name, and last one is subject underscore ID. So here, instead of subjects, we'll be taking here teachers. And inside that, we'll be calling the constructor of teacher. Here we'll be passing ID, name, comma, subject underscore ID. That's it. Now, the same thing will happen for student. Just copy this, paste it. So here we'll be adding a student. Instead of add teacher, we'll be writing here student, student ID, student name, and subject ID. So here, instead of teachers, we'll be pushing here students. And here, so constructor name is student. Inside that, we having subject IDs. So here we'll be having a vector. That's it. This is the difference we'll be having while adding a student. Once we have added the students, now find the teachers teaching no subject. So for that, we'll be making a function void find teachers with no subject. Here we'll be writing const, and inside that we'll be writing cout teachers teaching no subject. We found and we found equals to false. Suppose we don't have any teacher teaching no subject. So we'll make this boolean as false. Now we'll be having a for loop. Inside that for loop, we'll be having const, and again we'll iterate over teachers. So we'll be having the same loop here up to and teacher. And here we'll be iterating over teachers, and in this for loop we'll be having a condition if not, we'll be having not operator, teacher dot is teaching. अगर ये condition, if this condition is true, it means the teacher is teaching no subject. If not teacher teaching condition is true, it means the teacher is teaching no subject. So here we'll be putting a cout, and in that cout we'll be writing teacher ID and teacher dot get teacher ID. Name and teacher dot get teacher name, after ये bracket, फिर ऐसे फिर slash and semicolon. Then if this is true, then make found is equal to true. Print the teacher ID. If that teacher is not teaching any subject, print the record of that teacher, that is teacher ID and name, and make found is equals to true for all those teachers. Okay. Then again, one more condition we need to write here. That is, after this particular function, if not found, if this kind of teacher is not found, so we'll write here all teachers are assigned subjects. Put a slash n over here. And this is done. So put this, we'll be having a bracket here. This bracket is for this one, this. Again, we will be having a bracket here. That's it. Now, another function to find the student enrolled in maximum subject. So again, we need to write a function void find students with max subjects. And here we write const, and in this function we write a cout students enrolled in maximum subjects are slash n, and here we'll be writing int int max subjects zero for const auto, and main will iterate over all the students. So we need iteration variable called student. that will iterate over all the students. Whatever vector we have created, so we have created students name vector. And inside this for loop, we'll be having the if condition again. And here, giving the condition student dot get. So we want subject count here. Subject count is greater than max subjects. If this is greater than max subjects, so what we'll do? We'll assign max subjects is equal to student dot get subject count. We'll assign this value to max subject. That's it. Once this is done, again we'll be putting a for loop here. Let us copy this for loop. We'll make some changes in the same for loop. And here, subject count, if this is equals to max subject. This is the condition. Equals to max count. So here we'll change the line. See out. And in that see out we'll be writing student ID and here we'll be writing a student dot get student ID and here we'll be writing the name student dot get student name and yes, this is the subjects enroll. Student dot enroll will be max subjects at the end we'll be having session. That is a new line character. So this is how our code will look like. So this class is over now. So now here, right, use main, and inside that main, we'll write here LMS. We'll create an object of type LMS. Now here, instead of taking user data, we'll simply taking some subjects here. So last time we taken the user input, but now we are adding the input by ourselves only. So we are assuming that we are having LMS dot add. First of all, we'll be adding subject. So in subject, we'll be adding what? So first of all, suppose first subject is maths. Then we'll be adding these kind of subjects. Three subjects, 101, 102, and 103. Second is physics, and third is chemistry. These are the subjects into our LMS. Then after adding subjects, we'll be adding teachers. So instead of subject, add teacher. So teacher is 201 and name of teacher is Mrs. Rita. And her subject ID is suppose 102. Then see, we'll copy here. And this is something because we have added three teachers right now. Three subjects, three teachers. 202, 203, Silver, and this is Geeta. So this is 101 and this is 103. So these are the teachers we have added. Then similarly, we'll add the record for students. So students will be 301, 302, 303. Student. So first of all, let us add the record of first student, then we'll copy that. Mr. Rajesh, this is the student, and he has been enrolled in 102 and 101. Then we have another student who has been enrolled 302, Mr. Raj, who has been enrolled in 102. And another student, Mrs. Rakhi, she has been enrolled in 3 subjects. Now, once we have prepared this record, so we need to find the first problem statement. What was our first problem statement? Let us paste it over here. Find out the teachers teaching no subject. So this was our first question. So here we'll call the function LMS dot, what we'll call here? Find teachers with no subject. Inside that will pass nothing. Then another is what? What is the statement? Another statement we need to find out the students who have enrolled in maximum subjects. Enrolled in maximum subjects. Again, we will write here find students with maximum subjects. Then we'll write return 0. So this is what the program we have created. Now we need to take no input here. Let's run this code. So there is some error here. Line number 44. Let us see. Let us resolve that error. So now let us there was some typo error in this particular code. So I have changed it. Now let us run this code on this input. So we can see teachers teaching with no subject. So there is no teacher whose subject ID is -1. So that's why all teachers are assigned to some subjects and students enrolled in maximum number of subjects with student ID 303. That is Mrs. Raki, who is enrolled in subject, who is enrolled in 3 subjects. And suppose one of them I make it as -1. I've already written here that this teacher is not teaching any subject. So make it as -1. So you see now Mrs. Sita is teaching no subject. So that's why it's displaying the teacher ID. Okay. So this is how we have designed an LMS, which is having some number of subjects, some number of teachers, and some number of students. Some teachers are teaching some subjects and some students have enrolled in some subjects. So our problem statement was find teachers with no subject, the teachers who are teaching no subject, and the students who are teaching who are enrolled in maximum subjects. So if you like this particular content or video, please like or comment this video, share this video and subscribe my channel. And thanks for watching.